40 Fortunes, a tale of Iran told by Shepard. Once, in the royal city of Isfahan, there lived a young man named Ahmed who had a wife named Jamil. He knew no special craft or trade, but he had a shawl and a pick, and as he often told his wife, if you can dig a hole, you can always earn enough to stay alive. That was enough for Ahmed, but it was not enough for Jamil. One day, as she often did, Jamil went to the public bath to wash herself in the hot pool and chat with the other women. But at the entrance, the women in charge told her, you can't come in now. The wife of the king's royal diviner is taking the whole place for herself. Who does she think she is? Protested Jamil. Just because her husband tells fortunes? But all she could do was return home, fuming all the way. That evening, when Ahmed handed her his wages for the day, she said, look at these few measly coins. I won't put up with this any longer. Tomorrow, you will sit in the marketplace and be a diviner. Jamil, are you insane? Said Ahmed. What do I know about fortune telling? You don't need to know a thing, said Jamil. When anyone brings you a question, you just throw the dice and mumble something that sounds wise. It's either that or I go home to the house of my father. So the next day, Ahmed sold his shawl and his pick and brought the dice and the board and the robe of a fortune teller. Then he sat in the marketplace near the public bath. Hardly had he gotten settled when they ran up to him, the wife of one of the king's ministers. Diviner, you must help me. I wore my most precious ring to the bath today and now it's missing. Please tell me where it is. Ahmed gulped and cast the dice. As he desperately searched for something wise to say, he happened to glance up at the lady's cloak. There he spied a small hole and showing through the hole a bit of a naked arm. Of course, this was quite improper for a respectable lady. So Ahmed leaned forward and whispered urgently, Madam, I see a hole. A what? Said the women, leaning closer. A hole, a hole. The lady brightened. Of course, a hole. She rushed back to the bath and found the hole in the wall where she had hidden a ring for safekeeping and forgotten it. Then she came back out to Ahmed. God be praised, she said. You knew right where it was. And to Ahmed's amazement, she gave him a gold coin. That evening, when Jamil saw the coin and heard the story, she said, you see, there's nothing to it. God was merciful on this day, said Ahmed, but I dare not test him on another. Nonsense, said Jamil. If you want to keep your wife, you will be back in the marketplace tomorrow. Now it happened that on that very night at the palace of the king, the royal treasury was robbed. 40 pairs of hands carried away 40 chests of gold and jewels. The theft was reported next morning to the king. Bring me my royal diviner and all his assistants, he commanded. But though the fortune tellers cast their dice and mumbled quite wisely, not one could locate the thieves or the treasure. Frauds, cried the king. Throw them all in the prison. Now the king had heard about the fortune teller who had found the ring of his minister's wife. So he sent 2 guards to the marketplace to bring Ahmed, who appeared trembling before him. Diviner, said the king, my treasury has been robbed of 40 chests. What can you tell me about the thieves? Ahmed thought quickly about 40 chests being carried away. Your Majesty, I can tell you they were 40 thieves. Amazing, said the king. None of my own diviners knew as much. But now you must find the thieves and the treasure. Ahmed felt faint. I'll do my best, Your Majesty, but it will take some time. How long? The king demanded. 40 days, Your Majesty, said Ahmed, guessing the longest he could get. 1 day for each thief. A long time indeed, said the king. Very well, you shall have it. If you succeed, I will make you rich. If you don't, you will rot with others in prison. Back home, Ahmed told Jamil, you see the trouble you have caused us? In 40 days, the king will lock me away. Nonsense, said Jamil. Just find the chest like you found the ring. I tell you, Jamil, I found nothing. That was only by the grace of God. By this time, there's no hope. Ahmed took some dried dates, counted out 40 and placed them in a jar. I will eat one of these dates each evening. That will tell me when my 40 days are done. Now it happened that one of the king's own servants was one of the 40 thieves, and he had heard the king speak with Ahmed. That same evening he hurried to the thieves' meeting place and reported to their chief. There is a diviner who says he will find the treasure and the thieves in 40 days. He is bluffing, said the chief. But we can't afford to take chances. Go to his house and find out what you can. So the servant climbed up to the terrace on the flat roof of Ahmed's house and he listened down the stairs that led inside. Just then, Ahmed took the first date from the jar and ate it. He told Jamil, "That's one." The thief was so shocked. He nearly fell down the stairs. He hurried back to the meeting place and told the chief, "This diviner has amazing powers. Without seeing me, he knew I was on the roof. I clearly heard him say, 'That's one.'" "You must have imagined it," said the thief. "Tomorrow night, 2 of you will go." So the next night, the servant returned to the Ahmed's roof with another of the thieves. As they were listening, Ahmed ate a second date and said, "That's 2." The thieves nearly tumbled over each other as they fled the roof and raced back to the chief. "He knew there were 2 of us," said the servant. "We heard him say, 'That's 2.'" "It can't be," said the chief. So the next night after that, he sent 3 of the thieves, and the next night 4, then 5, then 6. And so it went till the 40th night when the chief said, "This time I'll go with you myself." So all 40 thieves climbed up to Ahmed's roof to listen. Inside, Ahmed gazed at the last date in the jar, then sadly took it out and ate it. "That's 40. The number is complete." Jamil sat beside him and gently took his hand. "Ahmed, during these 40 days, I have been thinking I was wrong to make you a diviner. You are what you are, and I should not have tried to make you something else. Can you forgive me?" "I forgive you, Jamil, but the fault is mine as well. I should not have done what I knew was not wise. But none of this helps us now." Just then came a loud banging at the door. Ahmed sighed. The king's men already. He went to the door and unbolted it, calling, all right, I know why you are here." He swung the door open. To his astonishment, he saw 40 men kneeling before him and touching their heads to the ground again and again. "Of course you know, O great diviner," said the chief. "Nothing can be hidden from you, but we beg you not to give us away." Bewildered though he was, Ahmed realized that these must be the thieves. He thought fast and said, "Very well, I won't turn you in, but you must replace every bit of the treasure." At once, cried the chief. And before the night was through, 40 pairs of hands carried 40 chests of gold and jewels back into the king's treasury. Early the next morning, Ahmed appeared before the king. "Your Majesty, my magic arts can find either the treasure or the thieves, but not both. Which do you choose?" "The treasure, I suppose," said the king, "though it's a pity not to get the thieves. The boiling oil is all ready for them." "Well, never mind. Tell me where the treasure is, and I will send my men right away." "No need, Your Majesty." Ahmed waved his arms in the air and called, "Pish posh, wish wosh, mish mosh." Then he announced, "By my magic, the chests have returned to their place." The king himself went with Ahmed to the treasury and found it so. "You are truly the greatest fortune teller of the age," he declared. "From this day forth, you shall be my royal diviner." "Thank you, Your Majesty," said Ahmed with a bow. "But I am afraid that's impossible. Finding and restoring your treasure was so difficult. It used up all my powers. I shall never be a diviner again." "What a loss," cried the king. "Then I must doubly reward you. Here, take 2 of these chests for your own." So Ahmed returned home to Jamil, safe, rich, and a good dealer wise. And as any diviner could have foretold, they lived happily ever after. And here ends the story. Thank you.